Hi, I'm Tanvi Nagar, and I'm a year one IBGM student in the business school. It's nice to meet you all. I'm an Indian and I grew up in India. I did the CBSE curriculum, which is the Indian National Board, but I also gave the SAT, the AP exams, which are the advanced placement exams, and the IELTS. In terms of my hobbies, I love to play badminton, creative writing, and public speaking, like Model United Nation conferences and debates. I chose HKU for a number of reasons, but some of them are its high reputation, HK being the financial hub of the world and the ideal location of HKU and Hong Kong. Firstly, HKU is highly reputed because of its quality education, the respected faculty, and the structured curriculum. It allows me to explore myself and have a structure in the types of teaching content that I learn. Then Hong Kong is the financial hub of the world. And being a business student, I was attracted to study in HK because of the internship opportunities. And it only makes sense for me to start my career as a business student in a place which offers me so many internship opportunities, amazing graduate placement opportunities, and so much more. In terms of the ideal location of the campus, I love the fact that HKU is located within the city, but it's also within the reach of, say, the harbor, which is a beautiful natural attraction. Then we have almost everything that's connected by MTR within 10 minutes of our campus. So it's ideally located, and I can get any kind of groceries or be it for fun if I want to go to TST. It's all within 10 or 15 minutes of my reach. Then why I chose IBGM? This is for a number of reasons. I believe IBGM is one of the top tier programs in the business school. It perfectly matched my interests because it was one cohort which was a diverse community of like-minded individuals who were passionate about the business field, but also had other passions like debating, MUNs, other kind of extracurricular activities, which really drew me to the program. And IBGM, it has special components like a compulsory overseas exchange or international field trip abroad or student committees, all of which really excited me. And the prospect of joining such a program was something like a dream come true. We have it's an internationally recognized program which not only gives me an edge in the business and the job market, not only in Hong Kong but also abroad, and it forms a very good foundation. As the speaker right before me mentioned, ma'am said that the business school, it offers us the opportunity to go abroad and study at other internationally recognized universities, and HKU Business School and IBGM was one foundation that I really needed. Then, as I mentioned, the compulsory second major is another attraction that drew me to IBGM. The second major, it allows me to actually explore my interests and choose a subject that I really want to study. And I have an option of studying anything that can be ranging from politics, psychology, to finance or asset management and private banking. So whether I want to get a specialization or want to explore my interests, I always have that second option open with me. So that lays a good foundation for my career ahead as well. Then coming to my life in HKU is something I really want to talk about and share with all of you. In terms of classes, I have classes 3 days of the week, and the remaining 2 days I have my tutorials. We have a lot of flexibility and a lot of time slots available for which tutorials we want to choose or which subclasses within the main class we want to choose, so that there's no clash between our timetables and we have enough time to rest and also have time to attend our lectures and tutorials. In terms of my hall life, I applied to the Lady Ho Tang Hall and got in. It's an all-female residential hall, and it's one thing that I love about it is it's super close to campus. So that means that I can reach all my classes within 10 or 15 minutes, which is really comfortable. Or in case I want to come back to my dorm and rest for a little bit between classes, I have time for that as well. And within the hall life, we have a lot of teams that we can join, say the choir team or sports teams. We have a plethora of teams, be it badminton team or the softball team or the netball team or the swimming team. I chose to join the badminton team as a core team member, and it allows me to continue my passion of playing, which I maintained since I was a young child. Then coming to more attractions, which are there are so many clubs and societies in HKU. I chose to join the HICS, which is the International Case Competition Society, because I have an interest in case competitions. Like I mentioned, debates, MUN, so it aligned with my interest perfectly. And there are a number of societies, be it the Psychology Society, the History Society, or the World University Service, or ASTRIAS, one of the societies that I joined as an executive committee member. It allowed me to come together with like-minded individuals and also pursue my interest in leadership, which is something I truly treasure. Then about friends, there's always time for us to grab lunch with our friends or hang out by the harbor, which I mentioned, which is just a 5 minutes or 10 minutes walk from campus. There are also gardens within the campus which we can explore with our friends and just hang out. And there are the common core classes which offer an integral curriculum, which is very diverse. You can either take 6 classes or 4 classes depending on the suggested order of study and the curriculum requirements, but I'm required to take 6 of them, and I choose to take 3 this year. So in the first semester, and that's actually been so helpful because I met some of my closest friends through my CC classes, which is which really helped me out in university life. Then coming to food, initially I was hesitant because I'm a vegetarian about how I'd get food. But when I came to HKU, I kind of realized that there are so many options for me to choose from. Subway, which is a favorite spot for vegetarian like me. We have a number of options at Subway, or be it Starbucks, or there's an all vegetarian restaurant, which is Bijal's. So this brings me to the first key point, which is vegetarian and halal food. For people with special dietary requirements, or be it halal food, a lot of it is available on campus, so no need to worry at all. And we have a canteen. In fact, we have 2 canteens in the HKU campus, which offer a diverse number of options, and we have other options like super sandwiches as well. Then there are a lot of vending machines on campus as well, in case you need some milk or some juice. And if that's not sufficient, there are also a lot of options like ordering through Food Panda or Deliveroo, which are delivery apps. And in case someone's craving Italian or Mexican on some day, you can just order it on your dorm. Sometimes I do it. Then we come to another key point, which was whether the campus will be English speaking, whether not knowing Chinese will actually be a hindrance. I had an initial hesitation, but when I came to HKU again, I realized that was just a myth, because all our classes are conducted in English. Our professors and our staff are fluent in English, and most of the friends you meet, they will be very fluent in English as well. So no need to worry if you don't know Chinese. Then in terms of sports, there are a lot of options to join different kind of sports team, or even the university team if you're a pro at the sport you play. And we have a lot of we have the Flora Ho Center, the Stanley Ho, all of which offer many opportunities to play sports, be it netball, badminton, football, and and any other games that you might want, even athletics. Then I would like to share some pictures of my life in HKU, and then yeah, I'll just jump right into it. So this first photo is from the Weeks of Welcome. They are organized by the CEDARS, which is a student well-being committee, which is within HKU itself. And that's kind of very interesting to it really organizes 1 or 2 events, which makes it, or actually not just 1 or 2, more than those, in the beginning of the semester, and that allows us to meet a lot of our friends. And basically it's an event where you get to know not only your friends but also your seniors. Then when we come to talking about the Mid-Autumn Festival, I got to experience the culture of Hong Kong, and that was one thing that was more like a once in a lifetime opportunity for me. Coming to the inauguration ceremony, it took me right back into a Harry Potter film or a Harry Potter book, because it was so magical. Then we come to the fourth picture in my slide, which is hanging out in TSD by the harbor. Whenever I want, I can just take an MTR, and it's just 10 minutes away. I've often been there with my friends, and sitting on the IFC rooftop, the International Financial Center, which I'll come to in my next slide, is it's a breathtaking view. In terms of diversity and inclusivity, no need to worry, because there is everyone on the campus is so friendly. You'll meet so many friends and have a community of your own. In terms of the first image, which is the O Camp, which was my orientation series organized by the IBGM student committees, it allowed me to bond with my cohort and actually learn so much more about other cultures and make so many more friends. Then IFC, as I mentioned, the International Financial Center. I can, being a business student, I'm always intrigued to go near or where all the banks are located, where all the action is happening. So that's kind of a highlight for me. And not only that, I also got to celebrate Diwali, which is an Indian festival in Hong Kong, and it felt like a home away from home. In fact, my brother, he graduated from HKU, and in 2020, he did quantitative finance, and he works in Hong Kong, and he works with JP Morgan. So it was fun to celebrate with him and my mother's friends family. So it was it really felt like home. And in terms of some of my other glimpses of my life in Hong Kong, going to essay events, going to different schools. I also went to the Vienna Philharmonic concert, which again took me back into a Harry Potter film. And it felt like it really felt like a magical experience. Then in terms of the other pictures, again, orientation dinners, going for the leadership boot camp, which was organized for the IBGM students as well, was again once in a lifetime opportunity for me, and the learnings and the takeaways I have enriched my life so much more. Some new things in HK that I realized which weren't similar to my home city were the high-rise buildings, the amazing architecture, which leaves me in awe every single time when I look out from my dorm window and I see the huge buildings. It's kind of really intimidating, but really exciting at the same time. And that's something I love about Hong Kong, its architecture. Then the fast and efficient transportation, which is also super cheap and affordable, which is the MTR. It connects almost all the places. And if it's not the MTR, you always have a minibus or a bus, or really efficient taxis, Uber. Everything is connected, and it doesn't take much time. Then coming to cuisines, as I mentioned, you can have all types of cuisines available. If you're craving Italian, you have the best Italian restaurants possible. If you're craving Mexican, you have amazing Mexican food, or even Indian food. I have so many options to choose from. Then coming to local markets and big malls, if you're the kind of person who likes to shop in local markets, you have a lot of opportunities to shop there as well. And if you want to shop at big malls, you have a lot of options at Admiralty. And then lastly, I'd like to cover how HK has so many mountains, beaches, the city life and the culture all intertwined together is one feature I find is extremely unique about Hong Kong. And I believe it's one thing that I noticed the first thing when I landed in Hong Kong was the fact that you have mountains on one side, beaches on the other, and the city life all mixed together with lots of culture.
My name is Jayant, and I am a year 4 student, a final year student at the University of Hong Kong. Like Tanvi as well, I'm also pursuing international business with a second major in finance. So I would quickly tell you what attracted me to HKU. I think as a student, in my high school, I was looking to, explore opportunities abroad. And I think HKU as a university really stood out for me because of its international repute, because of its international environment in general. It's one of the most international universities in the world. And secondly, because of its location. As a student who's been interested in finance and business and management, Hong Kong University is at the center of where all the big financial firms are. So you really get to, being in HK, you really get to experience it firsthand, how it's like to experience that like fast moving financial life. So that's what motivated me to apply to HKU. And then finally, when I came to HKU, I also went to a hall for the first 3 years. of my HKU journey, and I was living in a hall, which is again a very conducive environment for you to learn. And also, most of the halls, they have many hall activities and different, sharing activities as well, where you can join them and then enjoy and like make new friends. And with that being said, let me talk about the picture you see at the bottom, this one, HKU 2019. HKU has many orientation series conducted for students. So this is actually my first orientation in HKU as an international student, where I was inducted into the class, and was actually shown like what to do in Hong Kong, where to eat in Hong Kong, just a more comprehensive summary of what Tanvi showed you just now. So that being said, I would like to talk about how HKU also helps you explore your interests, whether it's in any field possible. So for me, in my year one, I was actually very interested in consulting and in case competitions. And HKU has many clubs. So if you are a debater, HKU has a debating club for you. If you are if you want to delve into the world of consulting, there are many different consulting clubs. If you like trading, or if you want to learn more about financial markets, there would be a club for you. Or apart from that, not talking about business, if you're interested in dance, there's a club for you. If you're interested in art, there would be a club for you. So you just have to explore. But in HKU, in the wider community, you would find like-minded people to socialize and then really connect with on a deeper level with your interests and hobbies. So I, being interested in consulting, joined HICS, which is the University of Hong Kong's International Case Society. It's sort of a fundamental training society that helped me really learn more about consulting. And they actually handhold you, and they teach you from the very basics, because in high school, most of the times you're not really taught about how to actually deal with a business problem, and a lot to do with how do you present, how do you analyze a case, and then how do you speak and communicate, is what I got in that HICS training, which then allowed me to join a club at HKU called 180 Degrees Consulting. I was also later promoted to the lead consultant at 180 Degrees Consulting, and we were actually doing very relevant work. We were consulting for non-for-profits. So as HKU students, we would go to non-for-profit organizations and consult for them to help them expand their operations, to help them, cut costs. So many of my clients, when I was working with 180 Degrees Consulting, they had their own, operations, and they wanted, our help as students to see how we can help them scale these operations. So I think that is something as an organization that really interested me, and I spent, an entire year with 180 Degrees Consulting in there, as a student consultant. That being said, I also had the opportunity from HKU, from the Faculty of Business and Economics, to be part of the HKU Accenture Business Consulting Program. And I think overall, this program helped me, work with Accenture executives. So like Accenture executives would come to HKU and they would teach us the basics of case solving and how they, on a practical level, solve their cases. So you can see this is the program, HKU Accenture Business Consulting Program. And it's conducted every year by HKU. That being said, I would also like to reiterate that when I joined, as you can see in 2019, the world was actually going through the very next year, the world went through a very tumultuous time. You had the entire COVID-19 crisis, and that led to everything going online. And I would say it's very commendable that HKU took no time and really transitioned into online mode of learning. And they were very efficient with it. In fact, many of the students actually liked the online mode of teaching more than in person, because sometimes you didn't have to wake up at 9:30 a.m. and go to the campus all the way. That being said, let me also talk about the World Asian Case Competition. This is the one where I, along with my teammates and my faculty course deputy director, Dr. Winnie Lin, were a part of this World Asian Case Competition, and we were declared as the global champions. And I think competitions like these really help uh, you to gain that international exposure, to understand about different, how different business case cycles go, and really work and collaborate with different people. So this was again a very interesting experience for me, particularly. And so this was a very brief overview. Now, let me actually delve a bit deeper into international opportunities available at HKU. So once you're an HKU student, and especially I am currently studying international business, I also wanted to expand, my outreach, because I am originally from India, but then I learned about the APAC markets by being in Hong Kong. But then, my idea was to be in HKU, but at the same time, learn about the EMEA markets, which is Europe and Middle East. So I actually had the chance to go to an exchange at the University of Bocconi. So these are actually some photos from my experience at the University of Bocconi, where HKU provided me with this opportunity, and this was a Faculty of Business and Economics partner. So if you are in the Faculty of Business and Economics, you will get to choose from very, very prestigious universities, whether it's NYU Stern, whether it's Bocconi, whether it's King's College London, or many, many prestigious universities which are partnered with the HKU Business School to go on exchange, to actually physically go there now that everything has opened up back, and experience exchange firsthand, and make a lot of new friends. An exchange for me meant a lot because I was able to meet a lot of new people. I was able to explore new cuisines, and finally I was able to understand how markets, because I'm very interested in the field of financial markets, I was able to understand how markets function in a different geographical location altogether. Now, coming to career opportunities, as a graduate at HK, as a final year student at HKU. So we have a portal at HKU level, which is called HKU Net Jobs, where most of the firms post, job listings on an entire HKU level. But then the Faculty of Business and Economics themselves provide support, and they have their own portal where where the faculty actually, has many job listings which you get to learn about. And then, whether it's career consultation, whether it's CV consultation, whether it's interview consultation, whether it's practice interviews, if you reach out to your professors, if you reach out to the people in the faculty, they will help you. They will, always be extremely proactive with how they could, assist you and help you for you to reach your fullest potential. And that being said, I did have the opportunity to work with many different financial firms over my time at HKU. In my year two, had the chance to work with a startup in actually their fundraising department. So that was very interesting. And then later on in my year three, penultimate year summer, I had the chance to work with UBS in the group finance department, UBS, which is a Swiss-based investment bank. And after that, this semester, I actually worked part-time with Cantor Fitzgerald as an investment banking intern in the investment banking arm in Hong Kong as well. So I would say that in all these opportunities, in getting all these opportunities, HKU played a very big part in my career, especially because I was able to, really leverage on my experiences at HKU, and leverage on the different programs that I joined, the different teams and communities that I joined, and then gain experience from there, and then really perform in a workplace. And that's why I do believe that because of the ample opportunities that HKU has to offer, as the professor was previously mentioning, HKU has maintained one of the most employable universities in around the globe. With that, I do come to the end of the sharing, and please let me know if you guys have any questions for me. Thank you.